Yes guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video. Today, I'm going to be discussing my top 3 issues/problems with the current Sorare gameplay. So if you do enjoy the video, please do leave it a like. And if you are new around here, please do subscribe to the channel. We are closing in on 10k subscribers. But anyway, we've got 3 main points to go through in this video. And I'm going to start off by discussing loot boxes that we have on Sorare right now. And I mean, look, I've had a lot of fun out of them. I think a lot of us have. If we've been lucky enough to get a card, I've won 2, I believe. I won a Ruben Diaz rare card, which was mental. I don't know how that happened on my first ever box. And then I won a card called Cheeky. I think he plays in the 2nd division in Spain at limited level yesterday, actually. And look, they're really fun. You know, the fact that you can win cards even though you haven't finished in like a guaranteed place in the leaderboard, if that makes sense. You can win them out of a box. Although there is obviously, you know, not much of a chance. It's a 5% chance of winning a card. But, you know, my issue is not really with the fact that we can win cards from boxes. It's more, if you don't win a card, you just win a level up. And I just think we're already getting quite sick of winning these level ups. And, you know, they're all well and good winning level ups and, you know, boosting the XP on cards. I think that is really important. But it gets to a stage where, you know, I've seen some people go 50 for 50, for example, on, you know, on Twitters and stuff that, you know, they haven't won a card yet, which I think's fine to a degree. But I think there should be a bit of variation in these boxes. There can't just be level ups or cards. There needs to be other things in there, is basically what I'm getting at. And don't get me wrong, they have, you know, varied the boxes for these midweeks. We see here we've got a rare premium box for the European Night Special Weekly, where, you know, the chances of winning a card are basically 14% compared to normally 5%. And you can also win a mystery jersey in here at 3%. So, you know, normally it's 95% chance of winning a level up on a weekend in a box. For the midweek, it's 83%. So I think something like that for the weekend needs to be a thing. Like, I don't think it should just be card or level up. And as we're seeing already, I think people are just getting bored of winning level ups. And it's only a couple of weeks into the new system. And I think it's pretty fair. Like, I think there just needs to be variation in the boxes outside of cards and level ups. Like, you can only level up your cards 3 times. So, like, there's a maximum of how many level ups you can use on a card right now. Whether they, you know, scrap that, I don't know. I don't know whether that's a good idea or not. It's going to get to the point where you can't even use them unless you're just buying constant new cards to level up, which, you know, Sorare obviously want us to do. They obviously want us to buy new cards, and I get that. But I do think these boxes definitely need some variation. And like I said, this is obviously the midweek. If we go over to the weekend, for example, this is the standard box. Like I said, it's a 95% chance of a level up and then a 5% chance at a card. And I think, you know, the percentages are fine, but I just do think there needs to be more things in there. There needs to be mystery jerseys. There needs to be tickets. You know, there has to be other things they can come up with. Maybe even Ethereum in there. Like, maybe you can win, you know, a threshold's worth of Ethereum at a very low percentage. Just, there needs to be different things in there, because right now I think cards or just level ups is just getting a bit tedious. And yeah, I definitely think there needs to be tweaks to that. After playing the new gameplay over the last few weeks, it has become apparent, I think, that playing in the lower divisions is just better. Like, there's just less chance of you coming up against Wales in those lower divisions. And there's also more of a chance of you winning Ethereum, cash/cards, and boxes in the lower divisions, because the quality of teams that are put into those divisions aren't as good as the Division 1s and Division 2s, for example. You're seeing that, you know, people are cleaning up in Division 3s and 4s. I'm seeing this issue talked about a lot on Twitter, for example, and I think, you know, it's a fair point. You know, Sorare initially told us that we would want to play in Division 1 and the 2s, like the higher divisions, compared to the Division 3s, 4s, and 5s. But it's had the opposite effect. Like, 400 points in Division 5 limited, for example, in season is winning you, you know, like $5, let's say, on a weekend. Whereas if you played that team in Division 1 or 2, you wouldn't have won anything. There's definitely going to be anomalies in certain situations, but right now it is way more favorable to play your cards in lower divisions than in the higher divisions. And look, there is advantages of playing the higher divisions, right? You can win way more money at the top of things and way better cards, star rares, better boxes, for example. But the chances of you winning those are very, very low. So most people in this game, you know, that don't have the best of best cards, they're going to play their cards in Division 3s and 4s if they have the chance to, than the 2s and 1s, if those divisions are, you know, open to them. And for me, that just isn't right. There's definitely something wrong there in the gameplay that, you know, most players that aren't, you know, the upper echelon, the whales in this game that have, you know, the creme de la creme cards, they're not incentivized to push up the divisions. That was the whole point of bringing in divisions. Sorare said they want us, or we should want to compete in the highest divisions. And don't get me wrong, the best prizes are in those higher divisions. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is your chances of winning those high prizes are just so slim. You're better off just playing your cards in the lower divisions is how it's working out right now. And then, what are the solutions to that? How do we fix that one? And I think it would have to be a redistribution of, the prizes in that sense. Like, you would have to make, like, the bottom of the top divisions, if that makes sense, better than, like, the middle/top of the really low divisions. And, of course, scores change week by week, and averages for prizes are lower some weeks than they are, other weeks. I get that. There's going to be differences in that. But for the most part, all I'm seeing on socials is people wanting to play the lower divisions compared to the top divisions because they know they're going to get absolutely battered by the whales in the higher divisions, which makes sense. So, they're playing their better teams, their more prioritized teams in the lower divisions. Let me know in the comment section what you think the solution is to that one. And then the last gameplay issue we're going to discuss is what happens to all our cards in August. Now, basically, right now we can play 3 in-season competitions and 3 classic, with every team. So say if you have 3 in-season teams in, contender limited, let's say, and you have 3 classic contender limited teams. Well, come August, you're going to have 6 classic teams because those in-season cards aren't going to be in-season anymore. And so right now you can only play 3 classic teams. So you're going to have 6 teams worth of players that are eligible to play in, 3 positions, 3 teams, if that makes sense. So you're going to have 30 cards for 15 positions, which I get, depth is good. You definitely need depth. But right now you can play 3 and 3, 3 in season, 3 classic. Come August, everyone is going to be able to play just 3 classic because before Sorare mint any of the new cards, nobody's going to be able to play in-season modes, right? Until the new European cards come out. So Sorare are going to have a bit of a problem here because either the secondary market is going to get absolutely flooded with cards because people are going to have excess cards that they're not going to be able to use. Like I said, depth is good, but, if you've got 30 cards fighting for 15 positions, you could probably afford to try and sell a few of them because you're not going to use half of them every game week. And especially if they're like really good cards. Like, if you've got 6 teams right now, 3 in season, 3 classic, and they're all really good cards, well then, like I said, in August, you're only going to be able to play 15 of those good cards. There's definitely a couple of solutions to this. Sorare either allow us to play, more competitions in the, now we can play 3 and 3, and in August, obviously, you can play 3 classic. Maybe they bump that up to 5 classic, or even 6. Maybe they double it. I don't know. Maybe even 4. Who knows? But I definitely think we need to have more places to play our cards. We've seen it in the midweeks. Sorare have now allowed us to play 2 all-star, lineups, where before it was only 1. I definitely think something needs to give in August because right now there's just going to be way too many cards and not enough places to play those cards. And like I said, do they allow us to enter more lineups? Potentially. Does Sorare potentially bring out an SO7 or an SO11 where we have to line up 7 cards in a tournament? For example, and keep, the normal generic SO5 as it is, but just add in, an SO7 or an SO11, which will encourage users to hold and, buy more cards for that competition potentially. Those are the 2 solutions I can think of off the top of my head. And so to conclude, 2 out of the 3 issues that we've discussed are, issues that are around now and I think, should get tweaked quite quickly. Whereas the August issue, is an issue in itself and I can't see Sorare doing anything to that. Maybe for the next, couple of months until we get closer to August and maybe they'll implement something for that and maybe they don't do anything. Who knows, right? But let me know in the comment section, lads, what you think. Do you think they're valid points? Is there anything else that is glaringly obvious? Like, we know the obvious ones like prizes and stuff. I don't need to discuss that. I've made videos on that before. But these were the 3 issues that I thought, have become apparent since the new update, even more so than before. So let me know what you think in the comment section, lads. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great game week, and I shall see you guys in the next one.